This is Apostle Anthony here. I'm founder of Faith 5 with my wife Cheryl. And I just want to speak to those of you today who sense in your spirit that God is doing something new in your life. I'm talking about those of you who are tired of your specific diet at your church, your devotional, your Bible reading, but you have a churning in your spirit that God wants you to migrate from where you are in your life to where He intended you to be before you were born. I want to talk to those of you right now who are tired of where you are, but you sense that God wants to take you further. You know, Canada has Canadian geese, and like many birds in this season, they migrate to warmer countries. And there's something specific about the Canadian geese. When they fly south, they fly in a V form, but in a V form, not the same bird goes all the distance as a leading person. There's got to be other birds that will take the leadership so the wind isn't theirs. Something else about the Canadian geese, you know, they're asked not to feed them bread, because when you feed them bread, they begin to forget about migrating. I want to talk to those of you who have been fed something in your church, in your ministry, that is not lifting your spirit, man, and giving you the ability to migrate, to move, to transfer from where you are into the awesome person that God intended you to be. I want to share with you that there's some things that are critical for your migration from where you are. First of all, you've got to stop eating the same food that you've been eating all of this time. Because if you're used to the same devotional, the same songs, the same message, the same people, and they are quite comfortable where they are, you will not move, because your company will either conform you or challenge you. And people don't change unless they are challenged. A challenging situation demands you to change. And if you don't change, you won't migrate. You won't move from where you are. The second thing about the actual movement is that you can't do it alone. This is not a solo thing where God told you alone. If you are not connecting with other people but are sensing the same migration pattern, you sense that the Spirit of God, your deep, is calling to their deep. Their deep is calling to your deep. And God is leading you all into a new expression of Him on the earth. Then you don't go until you sense that you aren't the only one on your journey, because God always not only speaking to you, but speaking to other people. It's so important for you today, because God doesn't want us to stay here when it's time for you to move. This is an awesome season in your life, and I believe God is saying, look around you, because your flock, your group is getting ready to move into deeper expression of God's love, God's grace, God's wisdom, and God's power in your destiny. Have a great flight, because this is the time for you to move.